Future Mech presents a setting with post-apocalyptic survival, classic mech suits, and related characters and ambience for you to develop your stories and adventures. I made this project within the 3D world builder and virtual tabletop system of RPG stories. Through the web links in this video, you can access the project in the Steam workshop, and you can learn more about RPG stories. In this video, I will share a walkthrough tour of the project. I hope that you will find something that you can use or modify for your own stories, games, and adventures. You probably will notice that some of the elements could work nicely within game systems such as Battletech, Monster of the Week, or other variants of the Powered by the Apocalypse system, or plenty of other options. Within the RPG story's gameplay controls, you can roll whatever dice may be needed, and you can apply whatever modifiers or calculations may be suitable for your game. You can choose whether or not to use a grid space, and you can customize the size, color, and even the shape of a square or hex grid. In this project of Future Mech, I wanted to blend 3 core elements. First, in a post-apocalyptic setting, a few scattered small groups of survivors are learning how to rebuild. Second, the rebuilding effort is complicated by a series of monsters that sporadically attack. Third, people have come across the ruins of a research laboratory with the incomplete designs, instructions, and component parts for creating mech suits that just might be able to defend against the monster attacks. As a backstory context, I imagined that a meteor crashed into the Earth and radiated a powerful energy that transformed and corrupted the world. This radiation soon resulted in various contaminated monstrosities that caused more damage and destruction, but the energy source potentially could be harnessed into a power plant, or into any stand-alone individual items such as a new top-secret development of mech suits. Perhaps more than one meteor crash site was involved around the world, and perhaps other meteor crash events have happened in the past. These details are open for you to adjust. You might find some inspiration and guidance, as I did, in the Drakkenheim setting by the Dungeon Dudes. For this project, I created the ruins of a small research station with the remnants of a basic model of a mech suit. Through further investigation and testing, more advanced models and outfitting could be possible. Meanwhile, the characters would need to contend with monster attacks, interpersonal and social conflicts, and quest to find the component parts and energy sources. Accordingly, the mech suits and other elements of the story can grow together in a classic leveling up progression. I imagined that the research station originally was part of a small community of military personnel and civilian contractors. The current inhabitants could include some survivors from the prior community, as well as others who found this place as a refuge. The people here live close together, primarily for defensive purposes. They have started to establish the basic necessities of their lives with gardening and farm animals. Feral cats and other creatures may live here as well. At the start of the story, the people are at the earliest stages of learning how to activate and operate the surviving remnant of a mech suit. Some amount of desperation is involved because people know that a hostile monstrosity could attack at any time. This particular location would need to be at a safe distance away from the most dangerous contamination of the meteor crash energy radiation. I imagine a constant haze or slightly obscured air pollution. A small amount of radiation might occur here, and you could decide if the people will need to concoct a medication or other means of counteracting the radiation, not only for themselves, but also for their water sources, plants, and animals. I like the idea of one person living outside the main group as a hermit, surviving alone or perhaps with an animal companion. This person could be something like a shaman, as well as a potential mentor and a source about history and legends. Communications with this person can be difficult and unpredictable because this individual wants to live alone and cannot function within a social community. I prefer to start with a small number of people in the surviving community. In this way, the interpersonal dynamics and the possible social, economic, and political structure do not need to be overly complicated. Each person can develop a story arc or character narrative. Each individual can contribute significantly with a unique set of skills, knowledge, and abilities. Furthermore, this context allows for characters to be invested in their connections to each other and to the particular place directly at the start of the story. Given the persistent radiation of contaminated energy from the meteor crash, 3 things will be ongoing. First, various monstrosities will continue to emerge or to mutate, and you could justify almost any kind of creature from any genre or subgenre in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. Second, at least some people will want to harness the corruptive energy for powering the mech suits and for their own purposes. You could play with various themes about power-hungry politicians, misunderstood or misguided mad scientists, and other ideas. Third, the surviving individuals and communities will need to contend with the corruptive radiation and monster attacks, including aspects of practical survival and the development of the mech suits that again would require access to the same energy source that spawns the corrupted monstrosities. I created this project with just one example of a small surviving community at the time of starting to build a new life while learning about a mech suit. The story could develop in so many different ways, and I hope that you will enjoy creating your stories and adventures. Please share your ideas, experiences, and suggestions in the comment section.